You know what day it is. It's 10 Toes Tuesday. I came to my spot, just looking around, enjoying the sunrise, what sunrise there is. It's a little bit cloudy today, but that leads us into our story for 10 Toes Tuesday. But I've got to give a little backstory first before we get into the meat of this. And with that, first things first, that thummy thingy, up or down, either one, doesn't matter to me. If you could push that for me, that helps kick this algorithm out to get to other people. Whether you watch a minute or, hopefully through the entire video, if you could hit that for me right now, that would be greatly appreciated. And then, if not, and this isn't for you, this video, just keep pushing. There's no hard feelings whatsoever. But we're gonna get into a touchy subject today. It happened, so I'm gonna tell the story the best way that I can. My brother and I was probably 16, 17, something like that. But I was still in school. My brother is 6 years younger than me, and we always had to be together. Now, when we were little, we were in the same room. Even until this time, we were in the same room. We became really close, but that was enforced by my parents because, like every little brother, my parents made sure that I took him with me, which wasn't a problem. I had no problem taking him with me. He was my best friend, and we went everywhere together. If you saw me, you saw my brother. I don't know how we met this guy, how my group of friends met this guy, but we met him, and his name was Tully, something like that. I believe it was Tully. This is over 30 years ago. What ended up happening was, we met him. I introduced him to my brother. My brother introduced him to his friends. I introduced him to my friends. He was a nice guy. So we thought. We introduced him to my parents, and he became part of the family. He'd come over for dinners. He lived about 30, 40 minutes away on the east side of Columbus. We lived on the north side. And so we'd have like Sunday dinners. He'd come over and kick it. Then he'd go back home. We'd also go out on the weekends. We'd go just walk the streets, wander, get into fights, drink, things that kids do. But Tully was older. So he was a lot older than us. He was 24, 25. Nobody really thought anything of it at that time, cool person is just a cool person. You just kind of hung out with him. Let me go on a little walk here. Let's see if we can't get this situated so I can properly tell this story. So bear with me with this camera. What ended up happening was we would all go out. We'd all party and whatever, and that became a ritual for 6 to 8 months. Now, some of my friends, they started going out without me and my brother with Tully, because he was that type of person. Tully would slowly tell us to come down to his place and party, but usually we would go home, and it was usually a group of people. It'd be me, my brother, and a couple of our friends. This one particular night, we were hanging out with Tully. And we were on the east side of Columbus, and he lived in an area by Bexley. So if you know where that area is, you know what I'm talking about. We did our drinks and partied and smoked a little bit and, did what natural teens do. Me and my brother left. We went home. Hey, I'm tired, bro, let's go. We got other stuff to do later on, cuz let's get out of here. So we left. Our other two friends were still there, so we didn't think anything of it because, if there's a couple of you, you're safer than if you're by yourself. We never got a bad feeling from Tully. We never thought that anything like this would happen. We took our car, we went home. Our friends that stayed with Tully to continue to party, one of them got tired or their mom called or whatever happened, and they had to go. So it left this one friend, and from what I understand, Tully told him, hey, you're tired, just crash the night and we'll, you can get up in the morning and go. Apparently, and this is one thing that still bothers me to this day is, should we have stayed with our friend? No one had any idea this was happening, but this kind of ended our relationship with Tully, and it ended our relationship with this other gentleman that I'm talking about. And I'm not gonna give any names because this was a long time ago. This man is now grown. I think he has a family, but it really tainted our relationship. As we understand it, the guy was sleeping on the couch, and it was probably 2, 3 in the morning. And he woke up and Tully was on him, and he was putting hickeys on his neck, grabbing him, and had him like pinned down and was trying to kiss him. Friend jumped up, got Tully off of him. What's going on? I won't use the colorful language that he used, but what is going on with you? What's wrong with you, bro? I'm not like this. We would go, all of us would go girl hunting, and Tully included. So we had no idea. So he got him off of him, raced, got to his car, left and went home. He didn't call us, he didn't say anything. We were looking for him the next day. Nothing was said. We're like, wow, this is strange. We haven't heard from our buddy to get together and do our Sunday stuff or whatever. Get this call early Sunday morning, probably about 7, 8 o'clock, I'd say. And it was Tully. And Tully was like, hey man, I'm in trouble. He said, what's going on, man? He said, I'm in trouble. I need you guys to bail me out. Bail you out? Where are you? Oh, I'm down at the workhouse. Ooh, why are you down at the workhouse? He said some stuff like he got a ticket and he hadn't paid a few things, and they put a bench warrant out for him, and he just needed bailed out. And at this time, back in the early 90s, this was a time when they still had collect calls. I don't know how the system is now, but at that time you had collect calls. You go around and you make your call, and this operator come on and say, your inmate from Franklin County Correction Center is trying to call you, and it would tell you the data rates, and it would say press whatever button if you want to connect. So we connected. He's telling us this bullshit, and we said, all right, bro, we'll, let us see what we can do. So we called our friends to see, what bail was, if anybody knew why he was in there, because we still hadn't heard from our friend. Then we got smart. At that time, it wasn't cell phones. You did have a couple computers, but it wasn't the digital age like it is now. And we knew some people, so we got on, called down to see his charges and how much his bail was gonna be. And he couldn't be released. There was no bond for him to be released. This is strange. Why is there no bond to release him if it's just tickets? Usually, because when I went in for some unpaid tickets for a warrant, it was a couple $100 bond or whatever. My dad came and bailed me out, went on about my life. We kept calling around to our friends. That's when we found out that Tully was a Chester. he was a chomo. And yeah, that's the one thing that I cannot do. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I never have. I have family. I have friends and good family that like men and like women, and you guys know that. What I don't like and what I can't stand and what will never fly is a chomo. Because I had a little brother, I've got a little sister, I've got grandkids, I've got kids, you know what I mean? And I'm a man. I don't think that love should be restricted on what you believe. To each his own, I guess I'm saying. I shouldn't say that, to each his own. That's not for me to judge. What is for me to judge is if you messing with little kids. And at this time, we're underage, especially my brother, since he's 6 years younger than me. And the classmate that we were talking about, he was in between us. That really pissed us off. So Tully called again, collect. This time we got on the phone and said, yo, hey, we heard from such and such and such and such that you like them little boys. You want to touch on little boys. We heard what happened last night. What's going on with that? Oh man, no, that didn't happen. If that didn't happen, then why are you in there, man? So we told him, don't call us anymore. We don't want to talk to you. There's a strict code about this shit, and you know it. We don't like that. Plus, this was our friend. So now I'm imagining if I hadn't been with my brother, if I hadn't been with that group of friends, and if I had just been there one night by myself, what would have happened? You gotta be careful of the company you keep. You never know what's going on in a person's mind. I had no idea. And it's taken me a long time to realize that wasn't my fault. I did everything that I could have at that time. And I made sure that the relationship that me and Tully and these other people had was as good as possible. There were no signs. And if I had known that he was a Chester or a Mo, there ain't no way we would have been hanging out. So that's the lesson of the day. I had to keep it 10 toes down on what I believe in. I don't like no Chester. So if you're on here and you're one of them, you know, you can just click off. I don't like Mo's. I don't like Mo's from the president to the penitentiary. That's one of those rules that I will stick by and I will stand by. That's just, you're doing something to someone who doesn't have a chance to defend themselves back. You're one of the worst predators that is out there. I believe in a fair fight. And so it kind of really broke me up, and I will stand 10 toes down on this all day long. If you got kids, teens, especially little kids, be careful of the friends you have. Be careful of who you leave them alone with. And I'm sure, everyone knows this, but again, he duped us. We had no idea. This dude was just treacherous. And I hope he sees this so you can know that I haven't forgotten, and I hope I don't ever see you again. Ooh, still pissed off about that. Just telling this story just pisses me off. So, hey, again, stand 10 toes down for what you believe in. I'm always stand 10 toes down for what I believe in. And, I hope that something like this doesn't happen to you. I hope it doesn't ever happen to my grandkids or my kids. And you know, a lot of things kids aren't going to tell you. A lot of things now that my kids are older, they're starting to, you know, tell me about, because they know what I believe in, how I feel. I haven't heard too many things, so I think I did okay. And if I didn't, I'm trying to repair my relationships with people. I'll never be able to repair my relationship with that gentleman who I went to school with, because after that, his parents, they told him, hey, stop hanging around with those guys. We saw each other in school, but we didn't talk. Tully, I don't know what ever happened to him. Hopefully he went and got convicted, and he's on some kind of list or something. I don't know what happened to him. I don't want to wish bad on anybody, and usually I don't, but that's the one thing that I do wish bad on people. It's really despicable to me. So, you know, trying to get my exercise in, talk to you guys. I hope that you're having a wonderful Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever you're able to watch this. And until next time, and you know there will be a next time, Big Unc out.